Who are the biggest winners and losers of Eagles training camp? What are the biggest storylines on offense and defense against the New York Jets on Friday night? All that and more on the latest Birds of the Roundtable. What is going on, guys? Welcome to Birds of the Roundtable. Today is a preview show of the upcoming matchup, basically preseason game one against the New York Jets. Joining us, as always, my man Shane over there. I did a show with him yesterday. I'm already sick of his face. He is at _TPL. What's going on, Shane?
Much. You're just sick of my face because you didn't beat me in the team draft poll.
First
time ever. I won't claim a win because it was technically a tie, 50-50, but it's the best I've ever done.
Love it. Shane, you're frozen on my end. Is he frozen on your end?
Could you hear me that whole time?
We can hear you. You're good.
Okay.
And then joining us, as always, my man Ryan at Philly Sports Alliance, at Philly Sports Alliance PSA on Twitter. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, man? I'm super excited to preview this game. I'll be down there at the link with my son, so I can't wait. Had a great time at the Eagles practice, so always ready to talk Birds.
Love it, love it, love it. We've already got Malik Hooks in the house saying, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining. And we've got a newbie joining us tonight, Matty B. If you haven't seen him doing Philly post-game shows, you can check everything he does at Edge of Philly Sports. What's going on, Matty B?
What's going on, boys? It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. I am glad that I can grace my presence with you. So let's bring this thing on. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We got Shane back.
There he is.
Different backdrop. All right, so today we're talking biggest winners of training camp, biggest losers of training camp. And I think it'll be fun to kind of talk about our most underrated storyline so far before we kind of jump into this matchup against the New York Jets. Lead us off, Shane. I'll go last. Who is your biggest winner of Eagles training camp right now?
I'm going to say my biggest winner so far is Jordan Davis, the Eagles first-round pick. I know that a lot of Eagles fans were a little hesitant with the Jordan Davis pick, especially with Kyle Hamilton on the board, which is who a lot of Eagles fans wanted. But Jordan Davis has looked every bit the part during training camp. He's just overwhelmed on the interior defensive line. I said on our over-under show a couple weeks ago that Jordan Davis was going to be the most impactful player in the front seven of this defense, and I think he's proven that so far throughout training camp. I'm really excited to see him in live action. I really don't think we're going to see that, Friday night, but I'm excited to see him on the field when it actually starts.
Love it. What about you, Ryan? If you have Jordan Davis, should we make it a rule that you have to go?
Yeah, I'm doing that myself anyway because I obviously was going to pick Jordan Davis. So appreciate Shane for going first and stealing my bit. But I'm going to have to go with James Bradbury, actually. I've been hearing his name nonstop as far as just breaking plays up, him and Slay doing their thing. I'm super excited about this combination. And like I said, all I'm hearing is amazing things from Bradbury. So I'm excited. Obviously, we won't really be seeing him Friday, but I am excited to for week one to get him out there against Detroit and see what that combo can do. So Bradbury for me.
Love that selection, man. I did a thing on him on my latest video yesterday. What about you, Matty B? Who is your winner of Eagles training camp so far?
So my winner of Eagles training camp is possibly the second most important player to make all this thing happen this year. Is A.J. Brown. I think A.J. has come in here and he's seen firsthand how passionate and how dedicated this Eagle fan base is. And obviously we've been hearing the stories and watching the hype videos of all the connections, the timing routes, and the prettiness there that those two, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, are linking up with. So I think that he has been more than advertised up to this point. Of course, we haven't played a game yet. We haven't seen him actually in a game for the Eagles. But as of right now, to me, he is definitely coming as advertised to the Eagles from the Titans.
Couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more. Malik says, good to hear about our cornerbacks. Suddenly, like, just a month ago, that was not the case, but suddenly, like, that's looking like a position of strength. And it's absolutely crazy. So here we are. My biggest winner of Eagles training camp for me is TJ Edwards. Not a sexy name, but my guy is TJ Edwards. This was a guy who was a huge component to the Eagles' success in the second half of last season. You look at those 8 games, the Eagles' defense was legit. They didn't really play anybody, but they went. What's that? I got some echo. They didn't play anybody. They went 6-2, and that was when TJ Edwards became a starter. PFF even graded TJ Edwards as the 10th best linebacker in the NFL last year. Then you saw the Eagles add to their front 7. They added Hassan Reddick, they added Kaiser White, they added Nakobe Dean, and kind of TJ Edwards was a little bit of that like forgotten man this offseason a little bit. And I got to give Edwards a lot of props here tonight. He's had a really great camp. All reports indicate that TJ Edwards will be LB1 at the start of Friday night and moving forward. And he's probably going to likely lead his peers in snaps for the foreseeable future until things slow down a little bit for my man, Nakobe Dean. So TJ Edwards, not the sexiest name of the bunch. By far, you guys have better names. But for me, TJ Edwards, I think, has blown away expectations, and he's just continuing to improve. So that is my selection. Let's go reverse. Matty B, man. Let's go to the other side. Who is the biggest loser of Eagles training camp?
Well, let me just say, hold my umbrella, boys. I want to go with Mr. Arcega-Whiteside. I just want him to get and I don't really care what else he's doing out there. The fact that he shows up every day, still cashing a paycheck and putting on that midnight green helmet is really starting to irk me. I just want him to go away. I just want him to go. Can he go away, please? Can he, please?
Love it. Yeah, he's definitely on the out. He's definitely on. I don't think that shocks anybody, at least on my end. But that's going to be a good day. I think he's definitely. I don't even know if he's on the bubble. He's probably not even there. He's probably further than the bubble, at least on my end. I'm going to go ahead. My biggest loser of Eagles training camp is not necessarily a loser, but at least I'm the biggest loser because I'm talking about me and my, training camp expectation prediction that Nakobe Dean was going to be an immediate impact player out the jump. I thought he was going to be a bona fide stud. I thought this guy was going to be lights out. I think we got to temper expectations just a little bit. He's very clearly a rookie, learning how to play. Oh, getting echo again. Hold on. Can you hear me? Good. Check. All right, good. He's a rookie that I think, we need to kind of pump the brakes on this guy. You look at TJ Edwards, Kaiser White, even Davion Taylor has had a really strong camp. I'm not worried about Nakobe Dean. I think this guy has elite IQ. I think it's just going to take time. The dude graduated high school with a 4.3 GPA. He was a mechanical engineer major at Georgia. I think he's going to be an impact player in 2022, but it's going to be later than sooner. So for me, it's my expectations on Nakobe Dean. I think we just got to pump the brakes. What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna say Jaquiski Tart, and mostly because I haven't heard a single word about him throughout all of camp so far. He was supposed to come in and compete for the job and basically take it away from Marcus Epps. And all Marcus Epps has done is stepped his game up. So, and you just don't hear about Tart. So it looks like Tart's the third safety right now, if that. I don't know how he's doing. I don't know if it's good or if it's bad, but I always equate not hearing a name meaning really bad. And I haven't heard a single breath about him.
Yeah, I love it.
He's actually behind Josiah Scott right now.
And on the unofficial depth chart.
I mean, I never revved up any kind of Jaquiski Tart on the hype train there. I was never a big believer. Paul comes in there.
I think a lot of people just kind of assumed, hey, it's a name. He was a starter for San Fran. He's got to be better than
Yeah. Paul says Eagles win 20-9 in a meaningless game where starters don't even suit up. We'll get to that very, very soon. Fans, I think he's directing this one to me, have overrated Nakobe Dean so much and placed unrealistic expectations. I think there's a middle ground there. I think there's a middle ground. I believe Jaquiski Tart will either retire or be released. Josiah Scott is getting reps at safety for a reason. Shane, who is your biggest loser?
Yeah, the reason is that Jaquiski Tart stinks. But I said that when we signed him and everybody was fired up. He's not a good football player. My biggest loser at training camp is Jack Driscoll. Driscoll is a guy that I thought would compete for the starting right guard position. And that's been easily won by Isaac Seumalo. And he hasn't even locked up the backup position. He's been outshined by Suo Opeta. So they put him at right tackle where he backed up Lane Johnson in the past. And then when you've got your top two left tackles go down, you would think that maybe you shift Jack Driscoll over to play left tackle to try that out in training camp. And they didn't even do that. They went with LaRaven Clark, who was terrible. And still Jack Driscoll didn't get a look at left tackle. And so I'm not sure what's going on with him, but the Eagles apparently view him a lot differently than I thought they were going to. Has not had a good training camp.
Yep, I love that selection.
Honorable mention to Zach Pascal, who lost 16 pounds with food poisoning. He's literally the biggest loser of training camp.
Yeah, totally. Paul says Tart has had some personal issues and has really struggled learning the playbook. All right, let's go into our most underrated storyline. I'm going to go first. For me, I'm going to go Britton Covey. My underrated storyline is Britton Covey. He's been getting some first-team reps. He's been making really good impressions with the twos. He's an older rookie, but given how poor the Eagles' special teams has been, you look at Covey, he could have a real shot of kind of shocking a lot of people on Friday night. Not a lot of starters are going to be playing. You look at his ability as a returner, his ability to kind of be a pretty decent receiver with his quickness in the slot. I think he could be, a potential wide receiver 6 on this roster if they go that direction. So for me, I'm going to go Britton Covey. I'm throwing it back to you, Shane. Go ahead. Muted, man.
Okay, I'm going to go with who is QB2 on this team. Now, that's a question that we thought was locked down. Gardner Minshew is going to be QB2, but apparently he has looked bad throughout training. He's looked really bad throughout training camp. Carson Strong has looked bad in training camp. So Carson Strong is not looking, like he's going to be that QB3. Reed Sinnett has played pretty well. And so I'm curious to see how this preseason game is going to be handled on Friday. I think you might see Sinnett out there taking the first reps. It seems like from what everybody said that he has been the second best quarterback in camp.
Man, I remember after the draft, kind of revving up Carson Strong because I was pretty high on Carson Strong. I wasn't high on any of the quarterbacks, but at least bringing in where they got him, I thought his arm, his touchdown field, I thought for sure he was going to impress. And man, he is not. He's been arguably another big loser. What about you, Ryan?
I honestly, I'm gonna go with because I was gonna go with the quarterback thing. So Shane steals another one. Just mark that off. I'm gonna go with the depth at the defensive line position. I feel like while we all know the names, I feel like we truly don't realize how amazingly deep we are going to be this year. When Brandon Graham probably might not even be out there for starter minutes because of this whole line is so amazing, so deep. Jordan Davis obviously having a great camp. We all saw that video of him pushing back the bunny hop, center. It's just I just don't think we truly grasp right now how incredibly deep we are, and it's going to make 2017 look like nothing. We're going to be rotating and just so deep. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
Absolutely agree. What about you, Matty B? Who is what is your most underrated storyline going on right now?
I too was going quarterback, so I got to put away from that. So I'm going to go with the bubble helmet. That is the most underrated. What has happened to my training camps? What has happened to the well, I know what has happened, but what has happened to the 2 days spitting blood, sweating off 100 pounds a day training camps that I am used to growing up? I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm not like ancient, but I remember them days. And I'm going to go with the bubble helmet and the shorts. That is my underrated story of training camp. I can't stand it.
Yeah. The days of pickle juice are long gone. Long gone.
Sad state affairs, boys.
I love that. That's how you win these things, man. Well done. I love the bubble helmet. Paul says a loser is Devontae Smith, who's had a few targets. He's missed 4 to 5 practices, I believe, and I believe is struggling with AJ Brown being the new #1 target for Hurts. We've heard again and again and again during training camp that AJ Brown's going to get a ton of targets, man. So all you fantasy people, if that translates into the regular season, get ready. Winner of camp so far is Sinet and Britton Covey. I believe Minshew has checked out mentally. Tough dude. And then Paul says, I believe Hargrave is expensible via trade. He's going on 30. He's in a contract. Yeah, but they also want to keep him because you know he's going to ball out in a contract year as well. So that's interesting. I don't know. All right. Throw it to you, Matty B. Let's get into the New York Jets, talking about the game up here on Friday night. We're going to talk about our biggest storylines on offense and defense, starting with the offense. Matty B, what are you watching on offense against the Jets?
So I'm going to go with the low-hanging fruit. I'm sure I'm probably going to piss some people off, but obviously is whether or not the starters are going to play. And if they are not all going to play, who is going to play? I would be very saddened if Jalen Hurts did not play in this game. I think he needs to play any amount of reps that he needs to be able to sink his teeth in or wrap his hands around. He needs to get reps. So the starters, and then who are the starters who actually does play on Friday night, and it better be Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I'd stock up on Tito's, Matty B, because I don't think I'd be ready for a long Friday night, especially in that third and fourth quarters when it's like it's just cockroaches and you and crickets.
No, I understand that, but I mean the fact that he may not see much time at all. Like last season, he didn't see much time. What was it? Maybe 2 series a game, and he was done.
Yeah.
And he played. He needs more. This is. We make excuses. We've been making excuses for Jalen Hurts. He's entering the 3rd year of his rookie year, and we got to stop making these excuses for him. It's time to see if this guy's an actual quarterback, and he needs to have every possible opportunity to prove that. And that's the preseason too at this point, in my opinion.
I fully agree, Matty B. I fully agree. I think the bubble wrap has to come off.
Yeah.
The defense, as it usually is during training camp, has been winning pretty much throughout the training camp. Let's get this guy some snaps. It's put up or shut up time for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going the status of the O-line. That's where I'm going. Like, this is the Eagles not only have one of the strongest units in the entire league, but it's also one of the deepest. I think Cam Jurgens has had a really strong camp. I think now with that Jason Kelce injury, getting his elbow cleaned up, you're going to see a lot of Cam Jurgens, and I'm really hoping to also see improvement from Jack Driscoll. Shane just touched on that. Driscoll just has gotten beaten like a drum against Brandon Graham all training camp long. But for me, I'm really excited to watch Cam Jurgens on Friday night. You look at the Jets' defensive line; it's improved from last year, but that Jets defense was among the worst in the NFL last year. That defensive line isn't that great, and I'd like to see the Eagles truly cement themselves, cement their will against the Jets defense on that line of scrimmage. That's what I'm going to be looking at. So that's for me. What about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna steal the one that I couldn't say with Shane stealing the quarterback. I am excited, and I think the biggest storyline is seeing how the rest of the quarterbacks kind of fall into place, and I think we're gonna get a good idea of that after Friday night. I do not think Jalen Hurts sees the field, so we don't have to worry about that. But the rest of the guys, I want to see exactly kind of, again, is Minshew that bad? Like, he has had a bad camp. is that going to translate in the game, or is he going to just, pick it back up because he's, been a starter in this league and he knows what he's doing, and he'll go out there and do his job. But I also want to see Carson Strong and Stinnett and see kind of, again, how they kind of fall into line, depth chart style. So that's what I'm going to be looking for.
Love it. What about you, Shane? Dude, you're muted. Come on, man.
I think Britton Covey is the guy that I'm going to be most excited to watch in the game, because you're just not going to see many starters. I mean, last year Jalen Hurts played 10 snaps in the first preseason game. The starter that played the most, if you want to call it a starter, was Jalen Reagor, who played like 17 snaps. So you're just not going to see starters. That's not how the NFL works anymore. I think you will get to see Cam Jurgens, which will be interesting, especially, I'm curious how they're going to handle him now with the Kelsey surgery.
Yeah.
Do you put him out there because you might need him week 1, but he's a rookie, so he kind of needs those reps. So I do think you'll probably see Jurgens, and he'll be interesting to watch. But Covey's a guy that I think will play quite a bit, potentially. And I'm interested just to see what he can do with the ball in his hands on the field.
Mm-hmm. Paul says, swapping Hargrave for Bates in the second rounder for their fourth rounder. So Paul wants to trade Hargrave for another safety. Paul says, I expect Jalen Reagor to be traded to the Ravens for Nick Boyle. Does anybody think Jalen Reagor is not going to be on this final 53-man roster?
Unfortunately, I think he's here. I mean, they'd trade him if they could get a trade, I think. I just don't think anybody wants him.
I'm definitely leaning towards I think he's going to be.
If Jalen here, Jalen Reagor will be here. I mean, it's just the law of averages here, boys. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. Paul says, I believe Minshew plays the first quarter, Sinnett plays the second and third quarters, and Strong playing the fourth quarter. I'm somewhat excited to watch Carson Strong play, man. I'm all in for that. I have no problems watching that. Let's go back to the Jets game here. Let's talk about the defense. Shane, what is the biggest storyline for you on defense against the Jets?
I want to see Nakobe Dean. I want to see him play. He doesn't seem like he's going to be slotted in as a starter right now, which means you probably get some reps, assuming everything checks out medically, which we assume it does. He's been practicing. I would expect him to play quite a bit on Friday night, and he should stand out. He should stand out against, the backups he's going to be playing with and against. And so I'm excited to watch this guy play in an Eagles uniform. Love that selection. What about you, Ryan?
Man, Shane is killing me tonight. Honestly, I want to see Jordan Davis dominate.
Woo!
I want him to just go in there and honestly be so dominant they take him out of the game after a couple of series, because it's just not fair to the other team. I want him to do worse than that video we've all seen. I want him to just absolutely just destroy people. And that's that. And obviously everybody knows I'm looking at Nakobe Dean, but I can't say that one right now. But yeah, it's Jordan Davis for me, for sure.
Yeah, I have it written down here that, Jordan Davis will be going up a lot against Connor McGovern, assuming he plays. McGovern is kind of had a really bad 2020, but he had a really kind of a strong bounce back season in 2021. He's a big guy, 6'4". He doesn't put up that many penalties. He's only got 6 penalties the last 3 years, and he's always in the game. He's played at least 15 starts the last 4 years, and I think McGovern's a really good player. He's like a above average center or lineman. I think Jordan Davis has all the potential to kind of blow him up. I love that storyline. Like that Jordan Davis looks so good that Jonathan Gannon is like, you're out. And sit on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you've done enough. You've showed what you got. Now go sit down, have a rest, and go hang out with the rest of the guys.
We'll see you week 1.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, mine. It has to be the safeties, guys. It has to be the safeties, and especially where they are. Like the state of the safety position is huge. Marcus Epps has had a really strong camp, but after that, like, what are we to get excited about? Like Anthony Harris is Anthony Harris. I don't care about him whatsoever. Jaquiski Tartt, Kayvon Wallace have shown you absolutely nothing. The guy that I'm going to be watching Is Andre Shashure? Did I pronounce that right? Because I keep
I think it's Sachere.
Shashure.
I wouldn't swear by it.
Like relative to expectation, like he's had kind of like that biggest surprise for the Eagles this training camp. He's been turning heads, making plays. He seems to be versatile enough to kind of, be a core special teamer, but also even play a little cornerback in nickel situations. Andre Shashure and then Reed Blankenship, I think, has been also turning heads. So those two guys, Shashure and Blankenship, I'm sorry that I'm butchering the name. It is what it is. I didn't even know this dude was on the roster last year until like a month ago. It blew my mind. But I think those are two guys that have a real chance to kind of make a name for themselves. So that's where I'm going, the two kind of unknown safeties, because that position is wide open. What about you, Matty B?
So I think, again, Jordan Davis. I was going there, but I'll pivot once again. I'm a sinner here. I'm going to go with Quez Watkins.
Nice.
I've been big on Quez Watkins since he came out. I think he's got.
Hey, this is defense.
Oh, defense. My bad. I mean, see,
maybe they're going to put him at safety.
There you go. Quez Watkins. Now, give me a second.
No worries. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Derek Barnett. Let me go Derek Barnett.
Nice. I like that.
Derek Barnett. See if you can get through a game without a personal foul or a penalty in the. No, listen. I don't know why Derek Barnett was brought back, and maybe there's some inkling to that reason going to be revealed on Friday night. Is he there for insurance purposes? Is he there to kind of stock up the interior of that line? I don't know what he's there to do. So I'm going to be interested to see how Derek Barnett's future with this team plays out starting Friday night. Like that?
That's a great selection. He's actually had a really strong camp. Yeah. I can't even comprehend that. Paul says Eagles defense. He likes a lot of the depth at defense here. Davian Young, Nakobe Dean. Kumar says Minshew not quarterback 2. Yes, he is, but he has not played well. Kumar says the middle linebacker spot has always been a wild card for us. Rodney's in the house saying the Eagles defense is going to be unstoppable this year. I love the optimism. We'll see.
I hope they can get some stops.
Yeah.
Watch a lot for Andre Shashure, Reed Blankenship, Kayvon Wallace, and others. So let's roll on to our second, the last topic, and that is who will be the Eagles player of the game, Matty B. What's your gut vibe, right? I'm going to be tracking all of this, by the way, so get this right.
Hands down, week 1 preseason always is. The kicker, Jake Elliott, will be the player of the game. Most work of any of the players. He is my player of the game, Jake Elliott.
Jake Elliott. Oh, man. I'm going to jump right in on this one and just make sure I lock this one in. And Shane kind of touched on it, but I'm taking him. For me, it is Britton Kobe. I don't think a lot of the stars are going to play. I think whether that's Sinnett or Strong or Minshew, whoever's out there, Kobe's going to be playing a lot of the slot, and I think he's going to get a lot of targets. So I'm taking the early preseason week 1 W here. I'm pretty sure that's a lock. What about you, Ryan?
There you go, Shane. Always sneaking one in so he gets runs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old trick of the book. I get it. I want to kind of say something like a funny one, but I'll forgo that. And I will say, I am going to say Kent Gainwell.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think they're not going to show the high-powered offense through the air as much. So I think they're going to be running the ball a lot, just kind of like they did last half of last year. I don't know how much we'll see, if any, of Miles Sanders, but I know we'll see a good amount of Kenny Gainwell, and I think he's going to run all over that Jets defense.
Kenny Gainwell's a good one. What about you, Shane?
I actually had the same idea, but I was going a little further down the depth chart, and Mike nailed it here. I'm going with Jason Huntley.
Nice.
Running back 4, I've heard he's pushing to make the roster, which would be great because he is a decent return man, and that's a desperate need for the Eagles. So give me Jason Huntley in the return game, and just as running back 4, maybe getting a decent amount of carries.
Love it, love it, love it. Paul chimed in, says Sinet will be player of the game. He's had a really good camp along with Britton Covey. I hope you're right. I'm going to be tracking all this stuff as the season continues.
Who was the running back that everybody fell in love with in preseason several years ago? Josie?
Was it
Henry Josie?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see who that guy's going to be.
Every year we always fall in love with some random guy. It's just what we do.
What about Kennedy Brooks? Any love for Kennedy Brooks? I'm excited to see what he's got.
I was initially thinking him, but it seems like Huntley's kind of surpassed him.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot more Huntley than I have been Brooks. So for sure.
All right, score predictions. Shane, what do you got? Yeah, I need an Eagles win or a Jets win. I need to know that as well.
We will go Jets win 17-14 because crappy teams always win in the preseason.
All right, what about you, Ron?
I'm going to go Jets 20-18.
All right.
Same reason. The Jets will probably have their starters play some significant minutes where the Eagles probably won't. So I think that it's not going to really match out ones versus ones, So I think they'll have an advantage throughout most of the game. And Eagles never really seem to care about the score. They just want to make sure their running plays the right way and all that. So, yeah.
I'm right on it. I'm going to go an Eagles W 20-17. I think the Eagles' offensive line depth will overall be the difference here in this one. What about you, Matty B?
I like the Jets 17-14 as well.
In the last 4 years, the Eagles have won 2 preseason games.
Right.
But they do have a tie against the Jets last year.
That they do.
All right, so those are our predictions and expectations here. Mike chimes in 23-17 Birds. I love it. Let's just wrap it up with final thoughts and plugs. Lead us off, Matty B. Where can we find you, man? And final thoughts on this upcoming matchup on Friday night.
Yes, you can find me on the Edge of Philly Sports every Tuesday nights at 9. I got a show called Talking Philly Sports with Matty B. Matter of fact, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to jump over there. And then also at the end of every Phillies game, I do the Fight and Spinal on EOP as well. And then coming this fall, I'll be doing Clear the Ice, which will be the Flyers post-game show. So God be with me on that one. My final expectations and what I see. Listen, guys, this is put up or shut up time for a couple players and members of this organization this season. Jalen Hurts is number 1 on my list. We need to see it. We need to know right now, right here and right now, the now. Live carpe diem, Mr. Hurts. It is time. This is it. We need to figure it out. And also Howie friggin' Roseman. I need either this is it or we move on. I can't live in this life anymore. I cannot live in this sick little world. We need to know what this thing is, and we need to kind of move forward. But it's always a great time of the year when football is back. Longest friggin' off season in all of sports. Pathetically slow and long. Thank God it's over. It's a pleasure.
Love it, man. Go check out Matty B and all the content. He's a workhorse over at Edge of Philly Sports. I don't know how you do it, man, but from one person who grinds to another, man, props.
This ain't grinding, man. This is fun, man. But I love it. It's a dream come true. So continue to watch, continue to listen, continue to click and subscribe and smash the bell, so to speak, and all will be good in the hood. So,
yep. All right, Ryan, you're up, man.
Just doing my thing over at Philly Sports Alliance. We got shows throughout the week, all different types of topics. We got some amazing guests on the horizon, so can't wait to start announcing some of those. But just make sure you follow us on Facebook, Philly Sports Alliance, Twitter at Philly Sports PSA, and all the other social media, YouTube, whatnot. Just again, Philly Sports Alliance. We got plenty of shows for everybody, and yeah, that's just doing my thing, hosting a couple of shows, producing the rest, and doing this one, which I probably am enjoying the most right now.
Oh, I love it, man. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of fun, Ryan. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, cannot wait for the season. Cannot wait.
Right. Kamar says so true about bad preseason teams. The Giants look really bad right now. From the highlights, they're probably going to be really tough. Weather forecast for Friday night. I think I saw it was like mid 80s. I don't know about rain.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like high 70s, low 80s.
Perfect.
Hopefully, no precipitation, and can get through at least one half with my 5-year-old son, and then get the hell out of there.
Paul says we won't see Hurts on Friday night. Roseman is safe for the next 3 to 4 years with his new contract. That's probably more accurate than wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, agreed.
And then Eagles may limit Cam Jurgens snaps Friday night with Kelsey missing some or the rest of training camp. What about you, Shane? Final thoughts.
I want to give a shout out to Nate Gary for never stopping his pursuit of his dream. After Jim Schwartz left Philadelphia, he no longer got his 1,100 snaps in 2 years to be the worst linebacker in the league, and he spent a whole year without a team, and he just signed with the Washington Commanders. So back in the division, he is back for revenge. Nate Gary coming to the Link sometime. I should have looked at the schedule. Sometime this year. I can't wait.
Oh, I didn't even see that. That is so funny. Oh,
I think they just broke it like a day or so ago that he signed with them.
Yeah. I'm going to be down in DC week 3 when we go to play the Commanders down there. So I'll have to make sure I shout out for Nate Gary.
Would you get an autograph for me?
I'll yell at him, but he'll probably be turned the other way and won't be able to see me.
How about all parity this year? You got Doug Peterson coming back to the Link. Carson coming back to the Link. Good God, man!
Yeah.
Is Nick Foles and Nick Foles coming back to the Link?
Well, yeah.
And the Eagles play the Titans for AJ Brown too.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, it's
a lot of revenge storylines. Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. My final thought here, Shane. Do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, check out my podcast, Chalk Talk. Actually, Ryan and I are going to be going live here in a few minutes, previewing the AFC North and the AFC East, and that'll wrap up our divisional preview series. So go check that out. Give me a follow on Twitter at @halfandhalf_TPL. I'll be tweeting out a lot of clips once games get started, so I'm looking forward to that.
Mike says he'll be in DC too, Ryan.
I'll see you. I'll see you down there.
Love it.
See you on the bus.
Final thought is I'm excited to see Sauce Gardner play. I'm hoping that he gets some snaps. So I'll be definitely. He was one of my favorite players in the draft last year, and I'm really excited to see the Eagles kind of receivers match up against that guy. Final thoughts. I've made a preseason video on the Jets, my top 5 guys to watch out for. Yesterday, you can check that out. Party on Broad will be Thursday night this week. We'll be doing another crossover episode with my guys from DSM Media, just breaking down more of the Eagles versus the Jets. And then, of course, Eagles post-game live will be Friday night immediately after the game when the clock hits 0. So we'll be just talking about top takeaways, who impressed the most, winners and losers, player of the game, you name all that. Go check out Philly Sports Alliance on Facebook. Go check out Edge of Philly Sports on Facebook, anywhere, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. Guys, amazing content creators right down there. My man, Matty B. And if you love the Phillies, he brings it every single game.
Right.
I don't know how I do it, man. I can't. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Please smash that subscribe button wherever you're watching this show. Please be sure to hit that like button and comment. What are your expectations on the Eagles-Jets matchup? Thank you all to all the comments, man. Comments were excellent tonight. And we'll be back every single Tuesday night for the next Birds of the Roundtable. For Shane, for Ryan, for Matty B, thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.